blessed ones of the nations of the world. Thus is your brother Dan Moses, or say Yao Sakodi of TRC, Ghana, coming to you this 9th of December 2021, Thursday, with this special expose, Testimony New World Disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying Akwaba, Allen, Sahale, Shagitam, welcome, Nganjoni, Benvindo, you are welcome. Kuso, Diwo, to San Yusenyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, o Sanu Dezua, Enkwandihena, Mitash, Duboro, Pezaluvat, Bine I Vinit, Barigalos, Divita Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Blekomen, Estan, Hozut, Walang Anumang. Bienvenido, namaste, swagatam. Kush, Hamandit, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Wanyang Haminida, Wanying, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia, Wezo, Akwaba to the program. Testimony New World Disorder. Testimony New World Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global evil, global wickedness, deception, delusion, and lies that are willfully made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world. Yet some of them have chosen to be the very people that are dealing with us so diabolically. Deception, delusion, and willful lies, having brought humanity and the nations of the world into this global helplessness where the whole nations of the world are in total helplessness. Blessed ones, we, amidst all these unthinkable happenings in the human history, we are most grateful to God for the fact that we are able to receive some divine guide, divine direction, divine insight, that we may know exactly what to do in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies, global helplessness, which is just a diversionary tactics from the ultimate agenda that fellow human beings are pursuing against the human race. I tell us it's an agenda to come after your soul, to come after my soul, the souls of humanity and the human race. That is what they are doing now, and they have gone beyond the issue of going about the nations of the world, dropping bombs on innocent civilians, taking possession of the natural resources of. No, they have gone beyond that. So humanity and the nations of the world, it is all about coming after your soul. And it is time that we make a resolute decision, purposeful decision as to whom we would give our souls over to rule, that as to whether we would give our souls over to the soul takers, the destroyers of mankind, or we will give our soul over to the God that made you. Christ Jesus is my Lord, and I have given him sole control over my lives, my entire being, for the sake of eternity. As for me and my house in Ghana, we shall serve the Lord. As for me and my two tortured and abducted children, our souls belong to Christ Jesus the Lord. We shall serve him for the rest of our life. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. I want to commend to you, Christ my Lord, who is far more than able to preserve my soul. However, God can never be imposed. Therefore, whoever you think that can be the owner and the preserver of your soul, in these times where the entire human race might make a decision, allow that God to take over your soul. But as for me and what I know, Christ Jesus is the one that owns my soul. And I gladly commend him to you, and I will never seek to impose him on you. God bless you, and God bless my homeland, Ghana, humanity, and the nations of the world. Aquaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. God should never be imposed on any people, either on Muslims or Christian or Judaist. No, God doesn't impose himself on any people. Therefore, any people that claim that they want to impose God on their fellow men, they are not doing that for God. And better sit up and think. Blessed ones of the nations of the world, Aquaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. This expose is coming to us on the 9th of December 2021. We are beginning today to go into the killing of the Haitian president, which was all due to the evil pursuit of this US undercover agent, the Montgomery County Police, and the Ghana Embassy, Washington, D.C. We are beginning to go into that as from this very day. Let's understand why this very day we are using it to bring to the people of Haiti the understanding as to why their president was killed and which people were behind the killing, the US undercover agent. Now let's begin. Humanity and the nations of the world. This 9th of December 2021 marks exactly 15 years. The whole people of Haiti, hear me. Ghana, let's hear me. America, humanity and the nations of Europe, Asia, Australia, all of the human race, let's hear me. The 9th of December today marks exactly 15 years when diplomatic stakes at the Ghana Embassy, Washington, D.C., diplomatic stakes in America, political stakes in America and Ghana of the Nana Addo Akufo Addo clans, John Ejekun Kufuor, on this 9th of December, they had taken over the mind of this US undercover agent for a global agenda pursuit. They so well knew that there was a man that the world is being told of, Osama bin Laden. Pentagon, US House of Congress, US House of Senate, the White House, noble people of Ghana, humanity, and the nations of the world, we would have to be circumspect. However, what has to be done must be done. Because we need to let the FBI understand, the Montgomery County Police understand, that no people, no nation, no people have the right to go about cowardly killing the African people, killing the Ghanaian people because we are Ghanaians, because we are Africans, like they are doing to us, putting US intelligence technology behind the new terrorists of Nana Addo Akufo to kill us. The Montgomery County Police and the FBI need to get the understanding clear that their willful intent to get me assassinated, supported by states within the United Nations, is a global threat to the entire human race. And I am never going to allow them to get me assassinated. I'm not going to allow them to, I'm never going to accept their willful false evidence made against me just because they want to get me killed. I will never accept it. So, Pentagon, humanity, and the nations of the world, fellow human beings in America, crime covering stakes in America, have made a way for us to receive what we have to receive on this 9th of December forward. We would try as much as possible to be circumspect for the sake of humanity, but we need to do what we have to do for the sake of the human race, for the sake of my life, which fellow human beings seek to end after they have killed my father and my uncle to cover up crimes against humanity. Blessed ones of the nation, Aquaba to the program. Testimony, New World Disorder. This is the 9th of December, 2021. political stakes in America, diplomatic stakes, religious stakes in America, and their cronies in Ghana. Some at the Washington D.C. Ghana Ambassador Edusei and his cronies at the Ghana Embassy, Washington D.C. I'm talking to us regarding 2006. John Akufo was the president of Ghana. They had, in collusion with stakes, political stakes in America, diplomatics and religious, come to a decision that the agenda of going about the war on terror, killing on the nations of the world in the name of the hunt for Osama bin Laden, was getting exposed because as far back as that 2006, there was no human being on the surface of the earth called Osama bin Laden. He was long dead. Humanity, are we hearing this? He was long dead. Osama bin Laden, there was no human being that was killed on May the 2nd, 2011, which His Excellency Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, they stood at the White House and staged that act. It was all a damage control to the global agenda that is being pushed. It ought to be done, and they did it. We understand why that was done. Humanity and the nations of the world. So, John Akufo, Ambassador Edusei and his cronies, um, they, together with political stakes in America, political stakes, religious stakes in Ghana, in America, and some religious stakes in Ghana. If you want me to mention some of the religious stakes in Ghana, Paul Ambene of the CIA, who called himself a pastor, Kenneth Tedideku of the US, who calls himself a pastor. These people were, in cahoot with the US undercover agent. They were keeping the most sensitive secret that borders on the entire human race, that Osama bin Laden was not alive. And yet, the global war machinery was running at the expense of the innocent life of Muslims. Ghana, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it as it ought to be. Ghana is a nation with Muslim, Christians, and worshipper traditionalists. However, because of wickedness and hatred, John Akufo and cronies at the Ghana Embassy, Washington, 2000, colluded with forces to use my innocent life for their agenda to go about the global killing, to keep the global killing machine running. And they have done that at the expense of the blood of their own people of Ghana. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akwa to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. That set up marriage was consummated, was executed between me and this US undercover agent to further the agenda of going about killing on the nations of the world under the guise of war on terror. They can no longer use Osama bin Laden for that agenda. So they have to use me for that agenda, and this US undercover agent. We know that there were times in the history of our world that fellow human beings decided that they have no regard for the God of the Jew. So, and by hatred for the Jew, they decided to destroy the Jewish people. 6 million Jews they destroy in what the world knows to be Holocaust. Humanity, there is nothing new under the sun. After that evil of Holocaust done to the Jews, human beings said their evil can never come to an end. So they decided that one was Jews. It was the Judaists. This time, They must orchestrate their hatred under the cover of the war on terror and go about killing Muslims. And they did, until eventually my own fellow nationals, who in cahoot with diplomatic, political, and religious minds, thought that they have found an orphan. They must take my life in the stead of the life of Bin Laden and pursue that evil agenda and go about killing, furthering the killing of innocent Muslims. And they did that to their own trap hanging on their neck. And my people of Ghana have continued to be killed up to this day. Blessed ones of the nations of the world. Akufo to the program, Testimony, New Worlds. You are hearing that that set up marriage was executed in the house of God by this so-called preacher. His name is Kenneth Tedeku. Kenneth Tedeku, who operated for the FBI and the CIA. And with this U.S. undercover agent, they set me up in the house of God. Now, when fellow men decided to destroy Jewish life, they destroyed. When fellow men have decided to destroy Muslim life, they are destroyed. Now is the time for them to take their evil to the God of the Christian. So they must use the life of a Christian, one who believes in the God of the Bible, to go about to destroy the life of the innocent. And I became the victim of situation. Humanity and the nations of the world, they took their evil to the wrong place. Because the God of the Bible, for the sake of one human life, had to let them know that nothing would work upon the earth for their disregard for the church of God, for the evil that they decided to pursue, to set me up in the house of God to go about the global killing. Nothing, everything will be destroyed, just like they have purposed. And since December the 9th, 2006, we have seen how the world has become up to this very day. Blessed ones of the nations of Akufo to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. The 9th of December, 2006, was chosen by this U.S. undercover agent and Kenneth Tedeku, the FBI and the CIA, the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo, John Ejekun, for that set up marriage to be held in the house of God. Ghana, you are told that today, the 8th of December, is the birthday. I mean, today, the 8th of December, Ghana is being told is the birthday of John Ejekun. A day after his birthday, that was the day that was chosen to trouble the church of God and to trouble the human race. And the just God has said that he will prove to them that they have taken their war and their evil to the wrong place and to the wrong people. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Humanity, on that very day, 9th of December, 2006, in that very auditorium where the set-up marriage was executed, the God of the Bible, through the same money-loving pastor, blew the cover of the U.S. undercover agent. I'm not the one who exposed her. The U.S. on camera, he blew the cover of the U.S. undercover agent before the entire congregation. She thought she was being smart, but God took him by his own way. He blew the cover. God helped me within months, 5 months after the set-up marriage. The U.S. undercover agent, the God of the Bible, arrested her by his spirit, and she also blew her own cover. That is what the God of the Bible has done for my soul. Blessed ones, Akufo to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Don't be shocked that How can fellow Ghanaians be so evil? John Ejekum Kufuor, um, Ambassador Edu said, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo, be so wicked and evil to take the life of a Ghanaian, to pursue this evil global agenda because they need our oil, because they need our natural resources unto themselves. And they did take it in that agenda when they have given 90% of the oil stakes that was discovered initially to their cronies in America, and ExxonMobil and Cosmos, 90%. And Ghana had only 10%. Out of the 10%, John Ejekum Kufuor and his crony, the Ghana's ambassador to the US, Edu say, they took 3.5%. I'm mentioning to you the names of criminals. Huh? They seek to kill me, and I don't value their life more than my life. They committed crimes, so they are criminals. They are before the International Criminal Court years ago, and they are still there. Humanity and the Nations of Akwa to the program testimony. I was the birthday present to John Ejekum Kufuor to destroy my life, but none of the coward secret killers is match for God. The God that my father left me over to before he departed from the earth. They are no match for him. So we should not be surprised that these sticks, who are also from Ghana, hated me so much, all because of their love for money and their worship of this US undercover agent. They have pursued that evil to the point of their own politicians, diplomats, religiously, an innocent man, Dr. Busumuru Kofi Annan, who had nothing to do with this agenda. Their evil had to fall upon him. And Ban Ki-moon, who was pursuing this evil, diplomatic politician, pursuing this evil with stakes in America, in Ghana Dankwa and his cronies, to go about running the global killing machinery at the expense of the life of innocent Muslims. Just like history told us, they did it it was done by fellow men to the Jews. They did it to Muslims. And at the depletion of the agenda, they had to take a Christian and use my life. And ever since, my people have continued to bleed till this day. And not the United Nations would say a word. Not the US House of Congress, not the Senate, not the Parliament of Ghana, not the government of Ghana, not the Supreme Court. Nobody, because this is a global agenda, and it must be run. The same way that the evil ran at the expense of the life of the Jews. That is how it was run at the expense of the life of the Muslim. And now it is being run at the life of the expense of a Christian. Let me tell us one thing, where this whole thing will lead to. Eventually, they have exploited the Jew. They have exploited the Muslim. Now they are exploiting the Christian to go about killing. They will go back again and start from the Jew. Then thinking that from there they will go to the Muslim and come back to the Christian again and go about. Now, what my Bible says is that after my turn, which they have exploited my life as a Christian to go about killing, and have entered the house of God and killed my pastor, they will decide that they are going to destroy the Jews one more time. That will be the end of history. Didn't hear me? I said that will be the end of our world. It is called the Armageddon War. The God that I serve, Bible says he will send down fire. He will not use any nuclear bomb, atomic bomb. He will send down fire from heavens above and devour the destroyers of the world. Ghana, back to the program, testimony, new world disorder. Haiti, we have begun talking about why and how your president was killed. This US undercover agent was planted in church. She knows so well. She sold her soul out with gross disregard for the house of God, the name of the Lord, with so-called preachers in America and their cronies in Ghana, Paul Ambene of the CIA, to disregard the house of God and the name of God. Humanity, I'm telling us that we should not look at the traitors and the wicked of Ghana who have done this to their own people and say, oh, Ghana. I tell us what? Humanity and the nations of the world. My Bible makes it clear to me that during the destruction of the life of the Hebrews by King Pharaoh, there were some Hebrews whose mind were taken, and he made them tax masters to enslave and destroy their own people's life. So we should not be surprised as to how it has been possible for the minds of some Ghanaians to be taken to further the global agenda of the destruction of their own people's life. Don't be surprised, because for our information, the noble people of Pakistan, they became the greatest victim in the hand for Osama bin Laden. Pentagon, we need to do this. It is not against America, it's not against Ghana, it is not against any people. This thing that we are hearing about, I am not saying, and I've not said to anybody that America did it or Ghana did it. I say it emphatically. What was done and what is being done in the hand for Osama bin going about killing when they knew that the man was done. The man was long dead before the setup marriage on December the 9th, 2006. That was evil by some diplomatic mind here in America, religious mind here in America, and political mind here in America. As we go on, we will strip their faces for us to know them. We have known the names that I've mentioned. Nana Addo, Akufo, Johnny Akufo. I've mentioned them by their names. They are before the international criminals. They can come and assassinate me. I'm not moved. They are seeking the destruction of the souls of humanity. We know this. So let's get it. There were some diabolical minds among the noble Pakistanis who knew that there was no Osama bin Laden alive. As far back as when they were when this undercover agent was set up in church to get married to me, so they go about killing. There were some Pakistanis here in America who did know that there was no Osama bin Laden alive. Yet they were aiding these evil sticks for their oil money. They treasure money over and above the precious life of innocent Pakistanis. And for years, they were making bombs be dropped on them, their own people. Ghana and the nations of the world. Some of those Pakistanis who operate for the CIA and the FBI. Don't be shocked, America. I'll mention names. One of them is called Mr. Shah. Mr. Shah. One other is called Anila, the wife. Anila, the wife of Mr. Shah. We have just begun. Humanity, we must be still. We must not look at Ghana and say, Ghana, some of you are very wicked. The Jews, some of you were so wicked against your own people to aid Pharaoh to kill your own people. Noble people of Pakistan, there were some of your own people right here in America who were colluding with the global killing and this undercover agent. One is Mr. Shah and Anila. As we go ahead, we shall go on. We shall continue. We shall know more. Now, Anila and Mr. Shah, both from Pakistan, and yet are US citizens. They live here. These were the people that were running a company called 7-Eleven. Henderson Corner 7-Eleven. America, go Google. You see it in Germantown, Maryland. These were minds that were aiding the US undercover agent for years in keeping that global secret. And they were getting their own people of Pakistan killed because of their love for money. It is that same Anila and Mr. Shah who bonded with Nana Addo Akufo, John Ejekun Kufuor, and their cronies, who put me in church on the 9th of December 2006. That same fellow Pakistanis, traitors among the Pakistanis who are in America, they hated me so much while I was working in the company, persecuted me with the Montgomery County Police, the FBI, the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo, in collusion with the store of the Nigerian, which I was also working for as a part-time. And they eventually orchestrated and killed His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, as we had been told. Ghana and the nations of the Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. Noble people of Haiti, we have just begun to bring you some understanding as to why and who killed the president. You are told that Colombians, and the Colombians were trained by the Pentagon. How much intelligence is going into that? How much intelligence? What the Pentagon can do is to at least hold itself accountable for her role, which led to the killing of the Haitian president. They proved themselves accountable to the world. The 7 people that they claim, Colombia that claimed that killed the Haitian president, they claim that they trained them. But what they cannot tell you, and somebody must let you know, that it was all about this US undercover agent, the Montgomery County Police, and the FBI go to the same Washington, D.C., Ghana Embassy traitors that sought to kill me on the 30th of June, 2021. Ghana and the nations of the world. We have just begun. You are getting the preliminary info regarding the killing of the Haitian president. May Haiti be comforted. May Ghana be comforted. May America be comforted. May the noble people of Pakistan be comforted. May humanity and the nations of the world be comforted. Whether we be Jews, or we Muslims, or we be Christians, what we need to understand is what is happening to the human race. It's not against the Jew. It's not against the Muslim. It's not against the Christian. It's not against whether you worship or you do. It's against the entire human race. And we are all at stake. It is no longer an agenda of Holocaust. It is no longer an agenda of going about destroying Muslims under the guise of hunt for Osama bin Laden. It is no longer the agenda of seeking killing the people of Ghana. It is beyond that. They're coming after our souls. That is the ulterior agenda which they are pursuing. Every other ugly noise being pushed by the same diplomatic sticks, who have no shame and cannot be truthful to the human race because it's very undiplomatic for them to be truthful. That the truth behind the loss of the precious life of Kofi Annan is never been told to the human race. And they must hold to that position, though they know an empty casket has been planted on the soil of Ghana in the stead of the body of Kofi Annan. They must continue pushing that stand until they have succeeded in getting him assassinated. But we know, we are not ignorant that life does not belong to politicians, diplomats, and religious leaders. Life belongs to God. So God will never allow them to take my life. God, through you, would never allow them to take my life. If for the fact that God will not allow them to take my life and they have chosen that the world should end, you know what we tell them? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. For you have no power over me. Neither do they have the power to end the world. Have told us that the world itself shall be ended, not by a man. When they decide to go back to go destroy the Jews one more time in Armageddon. Oh, there are preachers in America who are well versed. They know that. They know the truth. They're not telling you. There are preachers in Ghana who know that. They're not telling you. And they are making politics and players committing medical terrorism against a Ghanaian. The world was silent. Silence. Years. 15 years. They were committing medical terrorism against me whenever they please. Because of the silence, God says that, okay, let the same thing be suffered by the entire human race. And let's see what we will do. We are under medical terrorism. We must speak up. They are coming after our souls. Your soul belongs to God. Let's go to the next expose. God bless you. God bless my